So what we're going to do is we're going to read a book. It's called Amanda Bean's Amazing Dream. And this is a great way to introduce your kids to multiplication, okay, and understanding. But we're not really focused on writing a number sentence at this point. We just want them to understand the number of groups and number in each group is what we're looking at. And you will see that as kind of a theme through here. I want you to notice the pictures. What do you notice about the pictures in the book? Okay, so this is Amanda Bean's Amazing Dream, and we're going to use this book to do an entire lesson to help students understand what it means to multiply. Okay, Amanda Bean's Amazing Dream. I'm Amanda Bean, and I love math. I know all about counting. I'm very good at it. I can count by ones, twos, fives, and tens. I can add up anything. The kids at school call me Bean Counter. Hey, what are you counting, Bean Counter? They yell. Anything and everything, I yell back. I'd just like to know how many. I count every day, even when I'm on my way home from school. So look at the pictures. What do you notice? Now we are learning about multiplying. I understand many things about multiplying. I know that it's like adding lots of things quickly. This is good. I know about the multiplication signs. Here it is. It means that things can come in groups or rows or columns. That is also good. It's okay. And look at what you notice about the pictures. What I do not know are the multiplication facts. My teacher says it's important to learn these, and I'm not so sure. I think I can just keep counting. I tell my teacher this. He agrees. But he says counting is a longer way to find the same answer. I think about this when I get home. I think about this as I eat a snack in our kitchen. I look at the tile countertop. The countertop, I say. I must count these tiles. I notice that there are 12 columns and tiles. There are 12 tiles in each column. It is a long time before I count all 144 of them. I am Amanda Bean, and I like to work quickly. Maybe multiplying would be faster. So I want you to tell me what's a different way that Amanda Bean could count these tiles. Show me your thinking. What is a different way that Amanda Bean could count these tiles? One thing I want you to think about, a flat that we use when we do add and subtract. I want you to think about a flat. What could you do with that? You can draw a picture, you can write a number sentence, you can do anything you want to show your thinking. Nice. So is this your flat you're telling me? Good. Okay, so good. Like that. Okay, good. So what could you do? You know this fact, right? Mm-hmm. But how else could she count the tiles?
Well, I know that because I know that if you have one side and another side, so it's 12 and 12.
Right.
Times 12 and 12 together to get everything in it.
Right.
I don't know how I know that really.
Okay.
Because I don't really remember how I learned that skill.
Okay.
But I just know that you can, when finding how many are right there, you can times it on each side.
Okay. Can you look at 12 and 12? You probably don't, you may know 12 times 12, right? Mm-hmm. But how could you break it down to count it differently? Could you think of it differently, kind of like what we did in addition subtraction with the split strategy?
I mean, I can.
Can you visualize it? Because I know that you're really good at subitizing.
Yeah, I see that they look like the longs.
Okay, good. So tell me more.
Longs?
Yeah, so show me that.
Okay.
Show me that. How could you show me that? Good, yeah. But you're breaking it up because you know the eights, right? Yeah. Okay, good.
You want us to do this without multiplying, right?
Preferably, yeah,
Okay.
because they don't know multiplication
I
yet.
was thinking about like what, like for
Yeah,
the
I
students,
like
with
it.
when they have a flat, like they
Mhm.
usually it's like, okay, you know that each column is one of the tens blocks, so
Yeah.
you count by your tens.
Good.
But now I'm just confused. What would
Okay.
you do to get the leftover 44?
So this is your flat, right?
Mhm.
Okay, so what do we know about the tiles here? What do we know?
There's 12 rows,
Rows
and there's
of a-
12 tiles in each.
Good. So this is a 10 to 10. So how many longs would we have to add on this side?
2 and then 2 o's.
And then what would be right there in the corner?
1 or 4 1.
Yes, so show me that. Show me that. Show me that in your picture.
No, I don't know.
Good. You got it.
What this is just.
Right. But you've got, so what do we know about that picture? What do we know it is? It's 12 and 12, right? Okay, so you have 10 added on this side, but what do we need to add on this side?
The bottom or
Yeah, the bottom.
that on remaining?
Yeah, so we need to add 2 more longs, so do that. Okay, and how much are they worth? 10, but they would stop here, right?
Yeah.
So what would be in this corner? Yes.
So when you're saying, think of it like the base 10 blocks. 12 is 2 more than 10.
Right.
Why? So that's why I'm like confused, like, because.
So can you draw me a 10 block? Draw me a flat. And what do we know about a flat?
It's 10 by 10.
Good. So do that. So show me. Okay.
But that's
So
why I'm like, once you get.
right.
There's no 12.
Right.
blocks.
So if that's 12, if we know that's 12 by 12, right? How many more longs do we need to make 12 on this side?
2.
Okay, so draw 2 longs there. Okay.
I feel like
So-
this is visualizing how I know this.
Yeah, and so now that you know there's 12 this way, but we also need 12 this way, don't we? Going down? Because it's 12 by 12, right? So right
But-
now we have 12, but do we have 12 going this way?
No, but
So what are we going to
Now-
draw now?
if it's long, it's only going to match up there, not
Right, so
here.
yeah, so draw the 2 there.
Okay.
So 10 by 10, right? So another 2 longs. Okay, so what are we missing here? What do we need to do to make this 12?
4, 1.
Yes, so draw 4 little squares there. Yes. So if we know this is how much?
100.
So write that in there.
And then 10.
Yup. 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 Good. So how would you show me the addition sentence for that?
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, okay. So I was
Okay.
thinking it through, but this is my answer.
Okay. And so how many total is it?
144.
Okay, write that there. So what did you add together? Can you tell me what you did first?
I can.
So did you start with this?
Yes.
What's this worth?
100.
Okay, can you write that in there? Okay. So this is 100, and then this is long? Okay.
10.
And you can write inside of it to help you if you don't want arrows. So now how much do you have? You have 100, 10, 120.
And then I agree.
And what is this up here?
So
Oh, you added 2 to make this 12. You
Yeah.
added 2 ones. I like it. Okay. Ooh, what did you do? Did you do the area model?
Yeah, so I did what I thought was called a diagram, and so I thought it would be easier for me to split up 12.
Okay.
So I know 12 split up is 10 and 2,
Good.
and so I did the same thing up here, and then I did 10 times 10, and I know that's 100 because 1 times 1, and then I add the zeros, and then 10 times 2. 10 times 2,
Good.
and then 2 times 2.
And then you added all
and
the boxes
then,
together.
And then I have to add these all together.
Nice. So can you come up first for me?
yeah.
Would you be okay with that?